This is a Zach Feldman Show replay on ZRadioLive.com. This is a Zach Feldman Show replay on ZRadioLive.com.
The website music station Z Radio Live. This is the Zach Feldman Show. Joining me over the phone is a tax strategist and an author. Her name is Reberca David, and she has a brand new book out called Entrepreneurship 101, The Things Your CPA Wants You to Know Regarding Your Business. Reberca, thanks so much for joining me here on the Zach Feldman Show. How's everything going?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so glad you're on the air with us today. Tell us all about, first off, your brand new book that came out, Entrepreneurship 101.
Of course. So pretty much this is a book that I wrote for aspiring and current business owners. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs, just helping them file their taxes, bookkeeping, and tax planning. And most of the time, they all have the exact same questions. So I decided to put it all in the book and talk about some myths and just everything you need to know about starting your business so that you could get it right the first time.
Is the question they always ask is how how the hell do I keep track of all my finances? Like, how do I keep track of my spending? How do I make sure I don't go into debt? Because that's literally my questions every single day.
That's one of the many questions.
What got you into, being a tax strategist too? I mean, I feel like, for me, someone who's not great at math, I feel like that is the worst job to have for me. But for you being so great at math, what was your inspiration?
I actually fell into this world of accounting. So I originally went to school for marketing, and started working at a CPA firm, just to pay my bills, nothing serious.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that there was a lot people don't know, and there's a lot that I can help people with. And just working at that CPA firm, it also helped me realize all of the tax problems my family has gone through, and a lot of it could have been avoided.
Mm. Well, what were kind of some of the financial worries that they had?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What were some of the financial worries that they had?
Well, it wasn't much like financial worries. It was more so tax problems, IRS problems and liens, stuff like that. And it's simply because they fell into, not fell into, but ran into people who weren't filing their taxes correctly. They weren't handling their finances correctly. And it just led to more problems. And it all could have been avoided.
Yeah, 100%. No, I mean, it's so hard for, an individual to not only do their own taxes, but also, worry about not doing them right. You know what I mean? At the same time, I mean, what do you say to people who want to use like those free services out there? Like, like those TurboTax or, one of those, like, you do it yourself kind of things.
Okay. So I don't want to, say anything wrong or bad. I think there's definitely people out there who could do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I say if your tax return is easy enough, you probably should do it yourself. So, for example, if you're just an employee, you work a W-2 job, you have nothing else going on, which is completely fine. That's like most of America.
Mm-hmm.
You could most likely do it yourself. So instead of paying someone so much money to do it for you, you could probably save some money and do it yourself. But once you start having, a little bit more complicated situation where you might have a side hustle or three, you might have a business, you might have real estate properties, you might have other investment properties, stocks. And
so
that's
we're at
when
like 6 side properties. We're at 6 like side hustles. Then is that cool?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
So then I would not recommend you do it yourself because there's so much you don't know. And there's also a lot of savings that, the normal person do not know about. So if you were to do it yourself, like let's say you were to do it yourself, you followed all of the rules exactly and you did it correctly. But you might also just be missing out on some tax deductions because you don't know what the rules are. You don't know what you can do to lower your tax liability. So I think TurboTax is great. I think for, just the beginner, someone who just has a W-2, you could definitely use TurboTax. They'll walk you through it and you could definitely do it yourself. But I do not recommend it for complicated situations.
100%. No, I agree with you totally. I mean, you graduated in 2016, and been doing this ever since. How has the current market changed so much? I mean, not only are we, I feel like, honestly, we're like increasing in debt, but also increasing in cost of living. But for you, as a tax strategist, what have you seen change since 2016?
Well, in 2016, compared to today, a lot more people are starting a business, or at least, some kind of side hustle. So no one is just working a W-2 job anymore. Mm-hmm. And if they are, they're very rare out there.
And they're lucky.
Exactly. Yeah. So to me, that's the biggest change. I see a lot more people trying to do more things. Financial literacy is being taught a lot more. At least that's what I believe. Yes, people are in a lot more debt simply because the cost of living is increasing, but wages really aren't. And now people are looking for ways to save, and that's more important than ever.
100%. And, and for you, obviously being, being so involved with money, what is the best way to save? Because people always say, make sure you have your 401k, make sure you, take out this or you invest in that. But sometimes it doesn't work for other people. Other times people need the money now.
Well, honestly, I feel like there's no easy way to do it. There's never an easy way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, there may be some side hustles that you're great at specifically. Everyone can't do drop shipping. Everyone can't do this or that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have something that you're great at, a service you can provide, definitely, try to make something out of it. It could be, even if you don't want to start a business, it could be a great side hustle. But the only thing is now your taxes are getting more complicated, and now you do need to hire a CPA because, now your tax lady just won't do, because if you have someone who just only do your taxes, once your situation get more complicated, they're kind of in the same boat you are. They don't really know about the different tax laws and tax changes. So yes, as your life changes, your financial situation needs to change as well, which means you may or may not need a CPA. So, doing more things to make money, there's a lot you can do. Not only the side hustle, you can start saving more money and start putting more money away, in a retirement account, because of course retirement is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is ready to retire.
That's 100% true.
Yes, and saving on your taxes, that is, to me, one of the greatest ways, because yes, you can invest in the stock market. You can make thousands of dollars. You can even make millions depending on how much money you have there. But saving on your taxes, especially when you have a more complicated situation, is to me the best way to save, because I don't think some people are aware of how much money is going to the government. And, if you're making, let's just throw a number out there, like $400,000 a year, about 40% of your income is going to the government. And that's a lot. So if you're able to save even half of that, that's major.
That is awesome. Well, I hope, for those who are listening out there too, are taking some advice and also writing this down, because honestly, it's so important to save your money, and it's so important to save for your future too. How many of your clients, and let me ask you this too, how many of your clients are struggling in debt too?
Honestly, I don't have too much clients that's struggling in debt. Less than half of my clients
are. Oh, that's great.
Yes. And yes, it is. It's amazing. I think it's truly a blessing.
100%. Listen. It's a tough economy right now. It's a very tough economy. It's a tough, it's a tough world we live in right now because of how expensive everything is in life. For those who are obviously the worst with numbers, what do you suggest to them when they are, filing their taxes for next year, or trying to look for that next reduction that they can do for the upcoming year?
It would definitely be to consult. If you're as bad as numbers as you say you are, it would definitely be to consult a professional. Because sometimes it doesn't matter how much you read, how much you research. If you still don't understand what is presented to you, you still won't understand what you can and cannot do, especially legally. So it would definitely be to consult a professional, because 9 times out of 10, we know more than you do, simply because this is our profession.
So, Reberca, let me ask you, what is the wildest thing you've seen come out of someone's bank account? What is the wildest thing that has happened when you have been a CPA?
That is a good question. The wildest thing? I don't know about the wildest thing. Some people, I will not put them on blast.
Of course not. Keep it confidential, but
But I have seen people try to deduct some of the craziest things. For example, let's say you're in a professional industry, let's just say you're a lawyer. Why on your tax return you're trying to deduct $1,000 worth of gym equipment because you built out your basement as a gym. That's like, no, that has nothing to do with your business.
Yes, it does. What are you talking about? Of course it does. Listen, you don't understand. I have to work out when I run my business. That's just how it works, you know?
And you don't understand, the IRS will audit you and take you for everything you have.
Well, Reberca, where can people find you? Where can people go to use you also for your tax services?
You can just Google me, R. David and Associates. My business website will come up. Through my website, you can book an appointment with me. I do offer a free 15-minute consultation. And through the website, you can also find information about my book. And also, I am on every social media platform except for Twitter. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at R. David Associates. And on Facebook, it's R. David and the ample symbol Associates LLC. And I'm also on LinkedIn at R. David and Associates LLC.
Well, that's awesome. And again, the book is called Entrepreneurship 101. You can get it on Amazon as well. Well, Reberca, David, thank you so much for coming on the Zach Feldman Show. Seriously, best of luck with the career and best of luck with the business and best of luck with saving money.
Of course. Thank you for having me. And I hope I can help people save out there.
100%. The Webster Music Station, Z Radio Live, back with more Zach Feldman Show after this.
Want to hear more? Listen to the Zach Feldman Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on ZRadioLive.com.